What is good, YouTube? Today I got a cool effect for you guys. You guys have probably been wondering how the Weeknd does this little low demonic auto-tune voice, whatever. Basically, that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys that Weeknd effect. So, without further ado, here it goes.
Iamdices on the beat.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone. Oh, wanna be chillin' at home. Yeah. 5 more minutes and I'm gone.
Alright, and that's the effect that we're working with. Keep in mind that I did this with free plugins, not paid for. So I wanted to make it easy for you guys to do this, so you don't have to sit here and ask me, oh, where'd you get this? Where'd you get this? So everybody can do this. This is basically all the plugins. Ignore these three. These are just EQs. These are what's really making effects. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically, what you need is just Autotune. If you're singing. If you're just rapping, I guess you don't need it. Autotune, this little effect called Reverb. It's free. This one you don't need. I just put it on there for stylish, for a little flair, and then reverb, and then this is basically distortion. So I'm gonna take it all off and show you how I did it one by one. So boop, 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 boop. Lead Autotune on. Let's see. Boop. All right. I just got a low cut on this EQ. There's none in this EQ. Let me just get rid of it. Take off the loud max too. This is a basic compressor. I haven't did anything to it. All right. Loop this. So you got to find the key of the song. So bring in this Autotune. This is free. This is a free Autotune. The key is D minor. Boom. Now we just gotta tweak this Autotune. Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone. Oh, wanna be chilling at home. Yeah. Hey, 5 more minutes and I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't really know what this knob does, but it when I turn it past here, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna make the voice kind of go off key, but it kind of sounds good. Why don't you leave me alone? Like it's a different tone. Always be calling my phone. Oh, I don't know about that one. Wanna be chilling at home. See? Yeah. Hey, 5 more minutes and I'm gone. I'm gone. Why don't? So that's a cool knob, but I didn't want to do too much, so I just put it on 42. Turn the depending on your vocal, I think I sung this pretty decently, so I don't really need too much auto-tune. So I put it on more of the slow side. So why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone. All right, let me show you what this is. The snap range is basically how precise is the auto-tune gonna tune your vocals. So if you have this over here, you can see how these lines are getting smaller. That means it's gonna tune your voice directly to that note or that frequency range that note rings in, and it might sound too not natural because the human voice isn't gonna be directly on the frequency range of that note. So you might get a robotic sound if you sound like that. Why don't you leave me alone? It doesn't sound too good. Always be calling my phone. Oh, wanna be chilling at home. Yeah. Suppose if I turn it all the way 5 more minutes and I'm gone. I'm gone. Why don't you leave me alone? It gives it when you turn it all the way to right, it gives it a little bit of moving room. You know, you can go places. But if you turn it, it's like it's being strict. Like, no, you can only go to this note. You can't slide around. So that's why I like to do that. All right, we're going through a low cut all the way up to like 100 something.
Always be calling my phone.
That's just cutting out the lows. I don't even know why they included this in here. It's just something that they did. And that's basically we're done with that. Now to bring in Rovi. Rovi. Oops. Say this. Basically it's just a pitch plugin, so by default it's gonna make your voice sound high pitched.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone.
Alright, so we're just gonna turn the format to 0. Pitch to 0. And then all you gotta do is drop this format down to 42, or like to the point where it's low, but it's not like to the point where you can't understand what you're saying.
Why don't you leave me alone?
See, there's a difference between like dropping the actual pitch and then dropping the format. Let me show you what happens when I drop the pitch. This is 12 octaves. This is like an octave down.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone.
It gets all staticky. Now, if I drop the format with that, let's see what it sounds like.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone.
I think the format is like the tonality of it. Let's see if we can blend something.
Why don't you leave me alone?
Nah, that's too scratchy.
Always be calling my phone. Oh, wanna be chilling at home.
Alright, then you got that. Now I'm gonna throw on this free plugin that I found for harmonies, because I couldn't find, it was hard for me to find harmony plugins. Any ones I found they had to pay for, but this one is pretty cool. Default, it gives you a third harmony, so that means it's gonna create two more voices of this, and this is gonna be up 3 octaves and up 4 octaves. So let me show you how this sounds.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone.
That's not what we want right now. That really doesn't go with the song. Let me show you.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone.
This would be more suited in like a vocal stack, but this is like a lead vocal. So we're just gonna drop this down to -12. It's just a whole octave down. So now it's gonna be.
Why don't you leave me alone?
So like a low voice under it.
Always be calling my phone.
And what's dope about this, you can blend this stuff. Like it doesn't have to be, the low voice doesn't have to be like right with the same volume with the lead vocal.
Why don't you leave me alone?
Detune that joint a little bit.
Always be calling my phone. Wanna be chilling at home. Yeah. If I won't be missing, I'm gone.
Alright, we got that. Like I said, you don't have to add that. I just like to add it because it sounds good and it adds to the sound. I don't think the Weeknd does that. He probably did it one time. Now reverb, the reverb got to be on 1,000 for some reason. So we're gonna turn this. This is the free reverb from the plugins kit that I showed you guys. I'll try to leave a link in the description for it. I'll try to leave all the links for these in the description. All right. Room size 80. Basically, what the room size does is basically what it says. It's just the bigger, it makes the room bigger. And with the reverb, dampening, what dampening does, if you turn it more to the right, room is gonna get like more boxy. Let me show you. Like it cuts, it's kind of like a decay knob. It cuts the reverb tail. It makes it go down faster. Opposed to if you turn it to the left, then it'll make the reverb tail ring out longer. See, it kind of sounds like it's in the bathroom now. So, all right, going to turn that like 25 to the left. Width, this is just stereo. Like to the right is stereo, to the left is mono. Stereo, mono. You guys should know this. So we're just gonna put it on 80. we want it like we want to put this reverb in its own place. I feel like this beat already has a stereo reverb, so we're gonna go a little bit to mono. So we're not interfering with the beat, and the reverb is not like messing up the stereo space. Alright, that sounds good. Now we're gonna put the pre-delay to 20. What the pre-delay does is basically like an attack for the reverb. It's how many seconds after the signal or the voice says whatever it says does the reverb come into play. So let me show you. Let me see if I can get it to say the words and then the reverb come like right after.
Why don't you let me alone?
It's kind of like a delay now, so hence the name pre-delay. So just put it at 20.
Why don't you let me alone?
Alright, so now that things don't get cluttered, we're just gonna cut out a lot of the low end of that reverb, probably up to 500.
Why don't you let me alone?
That's at 300.
Why don't you let me alone?
You don't want to cut it too much to make it sound thin. Like this is thin, right?
Let me alone.
That's just all treble, because we gotta come down with the high end too. Then it's gonna be nothing left. So make sure there's a little meat in there.
Why don't you let me alone? Why don't you let me alone?
That sounds good. Let's come down on a high cut, about like 7.
Why don't you let me alone?
Alright, now we got this reverb. All we gotta do is use this mix line to blend it. Let's blend it about like 20, around 20.
Why don't you let me alone?
Pull it up just a tad.
Why don't you let me alone?
Dampening down.
Why don't you let me alone?
I like that.
Why don't you let me alone? Always be calling my phone. Wanna be chilling at home.
Alright, now this is basically pretty much done, but I like to add, the final gloss to it. This effect is not free, but I'm gonna show you how you can get the same thing. Basically, why I use this effect, like Mixcraft has this sound in it, but I can just get the sound from just clicking one button rather than going to the actual preset and making the sound. I'd rather just click it. So it's basically just this is just gritty distortion with a time machine on it. So.
Why don't you let me alone? Always be calling my phone.
Let me AB it if you guys don't hear what just happened. Listen for the gritty distortion and like the harsh highs. So this is off.
Why don't you let me alone?
This is on.
Why don't you let me alone?
Yeah, so it kind of made it like way more harsh. And if this is too much for you, if you're using a low quality mic, you can always let me just type in. Put a high pass on there, so you still get the grittiness, but it's not too piercing.
Why don't you let me alone? 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 Always be calling my phone.
Alright, so if you don't have this real bus, all you gotta do is go to. Nah, this is not the free one. Where's the free one? Time machine. Boom. Did I exit out? Yeah. So basically, this is all this is doing. Turn the bit level 12.
Why don't you let me alone? Why don't you let me alone?
High pass to 200.
Always be calling my phone.
And now, wait, hold on. You gotta turn on MU law too to get rid of that hissing sound. Or maybe you want it in for aesthetically purposes, but that's how you get rid of the hissing sound. And then you're just gonna go to a distortion plugin. Let's go to the DAT Deck 1 overdrive. Probably pull it up about like 10. Put a level down about like, I don't know, 3.
Why don't you leave me alone? Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone. Wanna be chilling at home. Yeah, yeah. If I'm open this, then I'm gone. Gone. Why don't you leave me alone?
And that's how you do the finish effect, the Weeknd effect. You can probably use this for, you know, ambient tracks. You know, I don't know what you can use this for. I use this sometimes.
Dice is on the beat.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone. Wanna be chilling at home. Yeah, yeah. If I'm open this, then I'm gone.
Hold on, I just thought of a vocal idea I gotta get out before I forget it. Check.
Dice is on the beat.
Why don't you leave me alone?
Leave me alone.
Always be calling my phone. Wanna be chilling at home. Yeah, yeah. If I'm open this, then I'm gone.
So we just gonna put that same effect on there. Hold on. Call this the Weeknd 2. Boom. Once you have that change, you just keep pulling it up. Boom. You don't gotta do none of that again.
Dice is on the beat.
Why don't you leave me alone? Always be calling my phone. Wanna be chilling at home. Yeah, yeah. If I'm open this, then I'm gone.
Yeah. Alright, I like that. So that's the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Put down any other effects that you want to see me try to do. Just did this off the rip. So if you want me to mix and master your tracks and do effects like this, I charge $30. Hit me up in my email for that. Instagram at Iamdices. My SoundCloud is at Dices. And yeah, I probably got a new song out, so go check my page out for that. So yeah, and I'm out.